So you're known as the happiness monk.
Buddha has this question, what is the meaning of life? He meditated for 6 years, but still he didn't get the answer. Then he's discovering all the dots comes together.
How do we take that first step towards lasting happiness?
3 gateways for the happiness. 1, meditation is like brushing teeth. Just 3 minutes, but every day.
What do you actually do in meditation?
Actually, very easy meditation. The essence of meditation is what we call. Most common mistake about meditation is people think meditation is think of nothing. Empty mind, empty brain, concentrate with peace, calm. If you look for peace and calm, it will not come. So therefore, I have panic attacks. Then I learned these ancient techniques of meditation. Like Buddha taught this 2,600 years before. We do this 3 things. After 30 days later, you become happier. I'm now consider my panic is my guru and also my friend.
Wow.
There's another technique which is really beneficial, like Nepal and India.
My mind is all over the place. How is it you can quickly just bring yourself to center and calm? A lot of people go through anxiety. What is a meditation practice that one can do? What about anger? Moments of self-doubt.
I think if we bring all this teaching into one thing is
Welcome to this show, and it's such an honor to have you, Mingyur Rinpoche, and it is such a relevant topic that we're going to be discussing with you today. So thank you so much for doing this.
most welcome.
So you're known as the happiness monk, and it's so funny because happiness seems like such a simple, basic, fundamental of life, but still people really struggle with finding it, understanding what it's truly about.
Right.
Happiness as a concept, especially today, really eludes people and evades people. So according to you, what does it truly mean to be happy and joyful?
Yeah. So, what we believe that everybody has wonderful nature. So what we call basic innate goodness. So this wonderful nature is what we call unity of 3 qualities: love and compassion, awareness, wisdom. So the more we connect with our fundamental quality, we feel more happy. For example, if we do the social work, if we can help others, which is related with the love and compassion, then we feel really happy. Actually, you're helping others, but at the same time, you feel like you're coming home. You feel like this is fundamentally right or good. So, in the past, I participate a lot of scientific research and discussion, and scientists were asking this question: what is happiness? So they did a lot of research about maybe winning lottery. So in America, if you win the lottery, you get at least 80 million over US dollar. After winning lottery, your happiness good for 10 years ago. They said 2 years. Now they say few months. Looks like happy, but then you still have hollow, the empty inside, not satisfied, still not satisfied, and feeling of something incomplete. So therefore, the real happiness is when the feeling, the deeper level, that contentment, joy, so an experience which is can discover within yourself and not necessarily relying on external circumstances. So that's the real happiness.
Okay. And this way, this method of thinking, right? Also, the Buddhist method of understanding what happiness truly is very different from how other people look at happiness, right? You were speaking earlier about the life of Buddha. Can you walk us through, for those who aren't as aware of what his life journey was after he grew up in that palace, and the key learnings, if you could summarize for us?
Yeah, Buddha has this question, what is the meaning of life in the kingdom? Because he's really genius, and he's very knowledgeable. He learned all this ancient knowledge like art, poems, fighting skills, sculptures, all the different philosophical schools. He learned very fast, but he feel like not satisfied. The question about the meaning of life never came to him, even though he has this luxury life, nice family, everything. So in the end, he lived the kingdom, looked for answer. So he went to many parts of India. He met great philosophy, the teacher of the philosophical schools, great meditators. He tried to learn from them, and he learned very quickly. Sometimes he's become better than them, and nothing to learn. So he thought learning is important. Then he thought he didn't get the answer. Then he thought, okay, practice, meditation, rigid, solitary practice important. So he went to near the Bodh Gaya. There's a river Narajan. He meditated for 6 years. There's special concentration called jhanas, different stage of the levels of jhana. But still he didn't get the answer. So then he, in the end, let go of study, intellectual thing, let go of rigid meditation. Be as it is. Then he discovering something. All the dots comes together. Then he went to Bodh Gaya, sat under Bodhi tree, meditate, and then achieve enlightenment. So the moment he achieved enlightenment, he said, I don't know in Sanskrit, but I will say in Tibetan, the meaning is, I discover a nectar like Dharma. It is profound, it is peaceful, it is luminosity, it is beyond concept, it is uncontrived. Even though if I teach to others, no one will understand because it's beyond concept. So I will stay in the forest with the silent. So he stayed for a few weeks. Then there's many people request, and he began to teach. So what he discovered is the basic innate quality, that everybody has this wonderful nature. Sometimes what we call nirvana. So nirvana is not somewhere up there, it's here with us, our true nature. And that has luminosity, awareness. That has beyond concept, wisdom. That has peaceful, kind, love and compassion. So Buddha discovered that. So after that, then Buddha continued to teach those things.
It's considered that through mindfulness and through compassion, you can actually get towards happiness.
Yes.
So if we were to define it in a nutshell, right?
Yes.
Like, what is it at the core in
Yes.
terms of the steps that one can take to
Yes.
truly start feeling a sense of lasting happiness?
Yes.
Like you said, if somebody wins a US lottery,
Yes.
their happiness earlier was considered 10 years, lasting
Yes.
10 years, 2 years, now it's a few months.
Yes.
How do we take that first step towards lasting happiness?
Yes. So how to take the first step for lasting happiness? 3 things, what we call 3 gateways for the happiness. One, connecting with the love and compassion. So for that, maybe also family is part of that, with the having connection with the family, friends, and maybe do something meaningful work for the society, for others, social work. And of course, you can meditate on love and compassion. So that's one. Second, what we call awareness. So, for example, this is really connected with the meditation. We can watch our breath. So, breathing in, breathing out. It's just knowing that you're breathing. No need to have very strong focus. By doing that, after a certain level, you feel happier. When you practice this meditation, you feel bored. Boring, breathing in, breathing out. It doesn't make sense.
And a lot of people get confused. What do you do when you're meditating, right?
Yeah.
Because nobody even, obviously our podcast is called Realign, where we interview a lot of people who talk about mind, body, and soul. So the most frequent question that people ask when it comes to meditation is, how do you meditate? And what do you actually do in meditation? Because with the distractions that we have with your phone, with social media, with the digital boom that's there, people are so wired into having a short attention span. Then meditation seems too long and stretched out, to your point.
Yeah. So actually very easy meditation.
Okay.
So meditation meaning, the essence of meditation is what we call awareness. So awareness meaning the fundamental quality of our mind that can see, can hear. Like you can see my hand, right?
Yeah.
Maybe people can hear my voice.
Yeah.
So that ability that can see, can feel, can think, and that is the mind. So we are not unconscious. So we are conscious. So that consciousness is what we call awareness. So now, consciousness is like lamp. So we have lamp here. So the lamp is illuminating itself, but at the same time, illuminating things others. So we can see, we can hear. So what we call illuminating others, but at the same time, the mind illuminate itself. So the meditation is to connect with that luminosity of the mind, the knowingness of the mind, the consciousness itself. So how to do that? At the beginning, we have to have one object. So object can be anything. What we call, we can meditate everywhere, anytime, with anything. So normally we use breathing. So are you breathing now? If I ask you, what you will say?
Yes, I am breathing.
Of course, you say yes, right? In that moment, your awareness is with the breath.
Yeah.
So
I thought about it.
Yes. So that time, mind and breath together. That is the meditation, actually. Very easy. But the important is we need to come back again. So breathing in, breathing out. But then we might think about Jawal dal or bora, the bread, bora bhaji, in Mumbai. That's special food.
Vada pav?
Bora pav.
Yeah.
So we think about bora pav.
Yeah.
And we think about past, we think about future. All these are okay. The most common mistake about meditation is people think meditation is think of nothing. Empty mind, empty brain, concentrate with the peace, calm. If you look for peace and calm, it will not come. Normally they run away. So therefore, you just be with awareness. That's all. Meditation is very easy. So through that awareness, actually we feel happier. So that's the second. Third is what we call wisdom, is learning, education, special to learn the nature of reality. So through that three things, deeper level, we feel happy.
Okay. And when we talk about the things that you kind of let go of or detach from, where Buddhism talks about having an attachment to self-identity that can lead to unhappiness, or desires that control the way we operate in different ways in our life. So how is it that we can kind of control these aspects that are so basic to human beings nowadays, right? Like
Yes.
everybody has a desire,
Right.
a desire to perhaps grow in their career, a desire, material desires. I want the car, I want the house, I want the holiday. Or also the attachment to self identity, that this is who I am
Yes.
and that's all I know. So, how do we go about this metric?
So normally we talk about three sense of self in Buddhism. So like unhealthy sense of self, and there's a healthy sense of self. Then the self beyond self. So the ultimate level, what we call shunyata, emptiness. But of course, emptiness is not nothingness. So the thing that what we need to free first step is unhealthy sense of self. So unhealthy sense of self is connected with ego. I have to win, other need to lose. I have to control 100% everything, and I don't like to have any unexpected surprise. Three things, like you need to win, other need to lose, and the second is you don't want to have any unexpected surprise. Third, 100% control. So that self become very, very tight and negative. But then there's healthy sense of self. So not all the desire, not all the attachment are bad. Of course, you need to take care of yourself. Taking care of yourself is self-compassion. Maybe taking care of friends and family, job, work. Everything is connect each other, what we call interdependent. So if you do something good with your work, your life, it may benefit many other people, right? So these things are healthy self. So self with the compassion, self with the wisdom, self with the awareness. Then the ultimate level, the self, when we look at the deeper level, then beyond self or luminous self. So sometimes people have misunderstood what is self. People confuse. In the Buddhism said no self, but then people think it's nihilism, like nothing. Actually, it's not nothing. The one thing Buddhists emphasizes that unhealthy sense of self, that you only win, other need to lose, that self need to free. But then maybe I need to have water, tea. It's okay. It's good.
Yeah. These are necessities.
Necessary, yes.
So, how can, if people have to reflect and think that I have an unhealthy sense of self, how do they recognize that?
Awareness.
Okay.
So normally we don't need to get rid of unhealthy sense of self. The trick is, the technique, what Buddha said is what we call uncontrived, meaning don't push, don't stop, don't follow. If you do that, it get worse. For example, no chawal dal, no chawal dal, no chawal dal, more chawal dal will come. Or in the night, if you want to sleep early, I need to sleep early, I need to sleep early, sleep disappear. So same thing, that self, I'm not good, I need a good self. Then the bad self becomes stronger. And then we feel like disturbing all the time. So then what we should do, just bring awareness, meaning we need to feel the sense of self. So normally around heart area, like chest, heart, we feel self here. Or maybe we feel, nowadays in the modern, they feel self around head. Or some people whole body. We just feel the self, sense of self. The moment you feel, what happens? Sometimes disappear. Or you see the pieces, meaning your body, sensation, the thought, your name, your identity, your possession. So what we call pieces. The self become pieces. When you see pieces, then they all connect each other. What we call interdependent, and also changing. Morning happy self, evening not so happy. But then kind self. Self at the workplace, you have title. Self at the home are different. Self with the friends is different. Changing. Impermanent. Impermanent. So then that unhealthy sense of self automatically dissolve, automatically transform by awareness. So you don't have to do anything. So what we call, when the sunlight comes, the darkness automatically disappears.
Yeah.
Or the sunlight shines on the frost, the ice. Sometimes in the Himalaya mountain, morning, there's ice on the grass. So when the sunlight comes, it's automatically melt. So that's how we need to practice, yes.
Okay. Also, there's a lot about happiness that is derived from external validation, right? Or desires, like you said, that if I get that promotion, I'll be really happy.
Right.
Or when I get the job, the partner, the house, the car, the holiday, that's when I'll truly feel happy. There's a lot of dependence on those factors, especially because it's so easy to compare.
Yes.
If you open Instagram or you open LinkedIn, you see, oh, this person is promoted. If I had that, I'll be really happy.
Yes.
Or that person is going on a holiday. If I could go on such a holiday, I would be really happy. But a sense of happiness from inside, which is truly the basis of awareness of self, of that inner confidence, that inner happiness, is, like I mentioned earlier, evading people. So what can people do today to move the basis of their happiness from external factors to truly being happy from the inside?
We need to practice what we call appreciation and the gratitude. So normally what happens, what we call, if we have 10 things in our life or 10 things within yourself, maybe 1 is negative quality, 9 is positive. And normally what we see is only 1 negative one. Not just seeing that 1 negative one, we exaggerate that one. And we ignore 9 good qualities within us. So maybe we think, oh, I'm not good enough because my friend has better than me, my colleague, my neighbor. We always have this competition. And we always think, so not enough, not enough. We look at only 1 negative one. And then what happens after a certain level, that 1 negative become 90%.
It takes over your mind.
It takes over your mind, and that might affect your physical health. It may affect your relationship at your work. Actually, it becomes the opposite. You want to be happy, successful, but if you only think about negative, then it get the negative effect.
Yeah.
So how to overcome that? The practice is what we call appreciation. So maybe we can buy an empty book and write down 3 things to appreciate every day. Like simple things. Today, I'm alive. It's very easy, simple, right? Actually, not simple.
It's not.
Being alive is a really wonderful thing. Oh, there's a roof above me. How wonderful. Oh, today I cleaned my room. How wonderful. I have tea on my table. How nice. How nice. And to have that tea, not so easy. There's a farmers, and then the shop somebody made, and then a cup. Now it's on my table. How wonderful. So when we begin to appreciate things around us, then we will see the other 90%, all these good things. And in fact, that really help us become more successful, more peaceful, more kind, that you can help people around you also. So what we call the circle of goodness. When you feel more happy, you can help other people also happy. But that appreciation we have to do at the beginning, 30 days. And not a lot at the beginning. Just 3 things to appreciate. If we write too many, then next day we cannot. Tired. So 3 things. Then if we, the third there's one important thing is we need to build habit. The habit cannot begin until 30 days. So if you practice every day to appreciate 3 things for 30 days, then you begin to see the world is wonderful.
There's more to appreciate.
More to appreciate.
Right. Also, there's a conflict in the way people think, right? Like to be happy is to be happy all the time. But that's not possible. To not have challenges, to not have obstacles. It's part of the human experience. So, what steps can people take to actually embrace the happy emotions as well as the difficult emotions in that cycle of life and not let it really bog you down?
Yeah. So for that, like when I was young, I had panic attacks around 7, 8 years old. Then when I was 9, I learned meditation from my father because of panic attacks so strong. So then I asked my father, my question is how I can get rid of my panic attacks, how I can fight with the panic attacks. And he said, don't. And I was surprised, Then I will not learn meditation, And he said, believe me, you don't need to fight the panic attacks. Then I said, why? He said, we have this wonderful quality, like basic innate goodness. And that our wonderful quality is like sky in the mountain. So in the mountain, we have very nice, beautiful sky, but not always like beautiful because then we have thunderstorm in the summer. Winter, we have snowstorm. So sky become crazy. And now here in the city, we have pollution, right?
So much.
And sometimes we have tufan, all this. So my father said, these pollution, these cloud can change the nature of sky or not. I said, no. Then he said something. So the awareness, the consciousness that we all have, like lamp, the background of our thought, emotion, also background of panic attacks, depression, loneliness. This awareness is like sky. So then the thought, the emotion, happy, not happy, ups and downs of the life is like cloud in the sky. So we don't need to change cloud. We cannot get rid of cloud. Even if you can get rid of cloud, then no rain, right? Always sunny may not be a good idea. So what we need to recognize is there is something bigger than what we think normally. There is something beyondness that even we can have thought, emotion, all these things, but at the same time, the fundamental quality is beyond thought and emotion, the awareness, the knowing quality of the mind. And that is with us all the time, 24 hours. So when we try to connect with that one, ups and downs in life is good. We can learn from them. We can grow from up and down, special down moment. So what we call obstacle may become opportunity, problem may become solution.
Can you give me an example of where you've seen this happen, where the problem became a solution or an obstacle became an opportunity?
So from my own personal experience, I have panic attacks. Then I learned these ancient techniques of meditation. Like Buddha taught this 2,600 years before, how to make friends with the panic attacks. Anger, hatred, jealousy, all this what we call kleshas. You can make friends with them. So how to make friends? So there are so many techniques. The main 3 things, with awareness, with love and compassion, with wisdom. So for small example, at the beginning when we learn the meditation, we need one object, maybe breathing, maybe sound. Just hear the sound through your mind and ear both together, then the sound become object of your meditation. Breath become object of meditation. Then slowly, you can watch panic attacks. So when the panic comes, there's a lot of sensation from the stomach, the heart,
Clenching.
tight and burning, and like feels like you're in an aeroplane, and that aeroplane passing through turbulence, ooh, like that. So you watch these sensations. When you watch that sensations, and then thought and image, all these conversations, that panic attacks, sensations become object of meditation. So now, awareness is watching it. So awareness become bigger than panic attacks. Normally what we call, when you see the mountain, you are not in the mountain. You are outside of mountain. When you see the river, you're not in the river. You're outside of river. So when you see the panic attacks, you're out of panic attacks. But you can have panic attacks also. And panic become object of meditation. So that's a small example. So then there's love and compassion also. There's a wisdom also. 3 main practices. So I tried this, but at the beginning, I feel like it doesn't work because I'm lazy, I was young. And sometimes I don't like to practice meditation for few weeks, few months. Then panic comes, I meditate a little bit. So it took me 5 years. So when I was 13, I joined the long-term retreat. The first month, my panic became worse because I become lazy in the retreat, in the meditation retreat center. So then I really decided to make friends with the panic attacks. I watch my panic attacks, all these techniques. After a certain level, I don't mind to have panic attacks. So symptoms still there, like tight my neck, headache, everything's there. But I feel deeper level quite exciting. Oh, now the sensation, now heartbeats, tight here. And I feel like the awareness is holding the panic attacks. And the panic, whatever moves, is like the cloud moving in the sky. So me and my panic become very good friend. But then what I call not so good ending, because after few months later, panic totally gone. So for me, panic dissolves in the end. So nevertheless, I learned a lot from my panic attacks. So I'm now consider my panic is my guru and also my friend.
Wow. And a lot of people face these emotions, right? Like of anxiety, of panic, of just sheer the feeling of I'm not good enough or I'm not doing enough, especially because there's so much comparison, like we were talking about earlier. A study from Harvard shows that an average individual receives up to 3,000 digital messages in a day.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's including WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, the whole gamut, right? So what can people do to kind of use meditation as a tool the way you have to return back to a sense of calm amidst this digital overdrive and overclutter?
Yeah. So I think we need to think about from 3 areas. What we call, we have 3 layers of the mind: cognitive mind, which is thinking, reasoning. Then we have emotional mind, the feelings, which is no need to follow reasoning. It just comes sometime. Sometimes, of course, there's a reason. Then we have what we call imprint, pattern. So that is unconscious level, like almost like automatic.
Like subconscious.
Subconscious.
Correct.
Subconscious level.
Yeah.
So when we are lost with the like phone, maybe television, whatever, if we want to transform, we have to work all these three levels. So maybe, like for example, alcoholic, if someone drink alcohol too much, and they know drink too much alcohol is also no good. Normally, maybe they know better than us, but they cannot control because the habit imprint is so strong. I don't want to drink alcohol tomorrow. I don't want to drink alcohol tomorrow, but then desire to drink alcohol becomes stronger. Then the feeling, the sensation really wants alcohol. So how to work with that? First important, of course, we need to know the side effect of losing too much, and we need to learn how to have balance all these things. And in the meditation tradition, actually we can meditate everywhere, anytime, with anything. So somehow, even you can try to meditate a few seconds while watching phone, television, so you're not totally lost. So all this can. But if you have the addiction, too much looking at smartphone, then you have to work with the behavioral level, that imprint level. How to do that? For example, if you cannot sleep early because you're looking at your phone too much, then don't bring your phone at your
sleeping area.
Yeah, sleeping area. Put outside. And then you have to do that every day like that for 30 days. After 30 days later, you have new habit. Otherwise, you can put your phone outside today, tomorrow, oh, I need again. Then after 1 week, you totally fail.
Yeah.
So we can think about from three aspects.
Okay. And when we talk about every day, right, these habits that you speak about, that can be built over 30 days, for example, what is it that our viewers can do to integrate the practice of happiness today? Because you've always said that happiness is not a goal. It can be practiced every single day.
Yes.
So what are 3 things that our viewers can do to begin that practice today and keep it going for 30 days as a habit?
Yeah, 3 things. First, appreciate.
Okay.
Write down 3 things to appreciate. Maybe about you and your life, or maybe people around you, or maybe about the world. So that's the one. Second, try to meditate. Maybe watch breathing. Like when you're breathing in, your mind knows the breathing in. Focus around the nose. Okay, now breathing out. Okay, breathing in. Or there's another technique which is really beneficial, like Nepal and India, because we use mantra, right?
Yeah.
Pray mantra. So recite that mantra in the mind. For example, Om Namah Shivaya. Or you can make your own word, like I'm fine, everything's fine, I'm fine, everything's fine. Recite that in the mind.
Okay.
So close your lips, relax your body, keep your spine loosely straight, and then recite, I'm fine, everything's fine, in the mind. Maybe close your eyes naturally, and your breathing also natural. So if you can recite, I'm fine, everything fine, in the mind, that is become meditation, or any mantra. So why that become meditation? Because we need to use awareness, mindfulness to recite that. If you recite from the mouth, then mind can go everywhere, you know. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Oh, how's your business? Om Namah Shivaya. So we can go everywhere. But when we say that in the mind, then the concentration is there. So that's the second thing.
Okay.
And don't practice too long at the beginning. Maybe one day, 3 minutes or 5 minutes.
Okay. That's doable.
Yeah, the scientist said, meditation is like brushing teeth. It takes 3 minutes for a day, right, to brush teeth. But that is good for hygiene for the teeth. So if you brush your teeth one day, half hour, then 1 week you are not brushing your teeth. It's not good for your teeth. Just 3 minutes, but every day. So they say meditations like that. Even 3 to 5 minutes, but if you practice every day, it's hygiene for the mind.
Yeah.
Then the third important thing is do something social thing related with the loving kindness, compassion. Maybe all family members together. Spend time with the family, meal or tea. Or maybe help the neighbors or social work. Maybe help low-income people. Or maybe create something for the society. So something little bit with connecting with the loving kindness, compassion, really with your heart. So if we do this 3 things, after 30 days later, you'll become happier.
Wow. Okay. I think, yeah, these are very exercisable. They're simple things to do.
Yes.
Okay. We'll move to a more scientific leg.
Yes.
In your book that you've written, The Joy of Living, you explore several concepts that we'll obviously get to. You also speak with neuroscientists like Richard Davidson, who talk about neuroplasticity. Like I was mentioning earlier in your book, you mentioned that the brain is actually plastic and can be changed over a certain period of time. So what are some of the practices that people can begin doing today to begin that process of changing the brain towards happiness?
I think that these 3 things that I just mentioned.
The same things.
Same thing.
Okay.
So, but need to do every day, kind of like brushing teeth. Yes.
Okay. And can a concept like mindfulness help in rewiring the brain, like you said?
Yes, of course. So I went to Europe and USA in 1998. So that time I was teaching meditation. And then my students said, wow, meditation is so wonderful. But actually, if you have panic attacks, it's only can change the symptom, but the core problem cannot change. Then I asked them, why? They said, scientists say so. So at that time, the scientists thought the brain cannot change. And special what they call baseline. Everybody has a baseline, but if baseline meaning if you are a little bit angry-ish, like a little bit angry person, rest of your life will be angry person. Or if you are a little bit panicky person, little bit panic, cannot change the baseline. Even you win the lottery, change for a few months, then go back to that baseline.
Yeah.
If you feel a little bit sad, cannot change. Depressed, or whatever you have. So, of course, winning lottery doesn't help. Marriage also doesn't help. The one thing is a little bit good is salary. If you have the best salary, number one, among your colleague, your neighbor, and your circle, you have the highest salary. That little bit lasts longer. Another one is cosmetic surgery, plastic surgery. That one is a little bit live longer, the happiness. Otherwise, fame, power, money, it doesn't work. All this doesn't work. Go back to the baseline. So then they thought, no hope. You cannot change. But then, from 2002, there's a big research about meditation. So I also participate, as you said, with the Dr. Richard Davidson with the University of Wisconsin medicine. So then result come out 2004. And then during those time, they begin to discover neuroplasticity. Actually, your brain can change. Even you're born with unhappy, you can become happier. The baseline can change. And the best way to change is through meditation. Our brain is changing all the time. Actually, nowadays they said all the time, but we cannot control because outer circumstances forcing you to change. Maybe by situation, by environment, by person. But one of the best way to change is through the meditation, that you can have freedom, you have choice to change your brain to the better way. So then they find this neuroplasticity, so brains can change. Then later they discover what they call neural pathways. The connection, like in Mumbai we have the highway, right?
Yeah.
So actually you can make new highway in the brain. If you practice meditation, you might have highway for happiness. So there's neural pathways. And nowadays what they talk about neurogenesis, meaning gene also can change.
Okay.
The gene expression in the brain also can change.
Okay. And what is the role? There's a lot of chatter about these chemicals, right? Like serotonin, oxytocin, endorphins. What are these chemicals, and how do they kind of have an impact on our happiness levels if they're released? Is it even true scientifically that these happy hormones actually make us happier?
Yeah, so like dopamine, serotonin, so many different those cells. In Buddhism, we talk about prana, bindu, nadi. So nadi meaning nerves. So whole body from head to feet has this nerve, the channels. Then we have bindu. Bindu is like drop or dots, meaning the cells is different cells. Then we have prana. Prana is energy. Prana is like movement, the rhythm, like oxygen or electric charge, and then also moving. So when I discuss with the scientists, they're talking also similar thing. Like in the brain, there's a neurons, like tree.
Yeah.
It's like that is kind of like a nadi, the nerve.
Yeah.
Then they have neurotransmitter.
Correct.
So the transmitter is like bindu, like the cells. And they all moving, communicating, there's electric charge, there's oxygen, and everything has a rhythm. So that's the prana, the energy. So it's very similar what ancient texts discuss, and now modern scientists is discovering.
Wow. So this is something that we can actually release these hormones to feel that sense of happiness.
Yes.
Okay. And what is the concept of Abhidharma?
So Abhidharma meaning the nature of the mind and the matter. So the matter is the particle, the mind is there are what we call so many different parts of the mind. So in Abhidharma, talk about the matter has particle. The Buddha talked about this 2,600 years before. The particle, what we call like dul, in Tibetan language, what we call dul meaning atom. The scientists discovered atom maybe a few hundred years ago, and they believe that atom is the smallest phenomenon in the world. You cannot make it more small.
Yeah.
But Buddha said there is subatomic particle, so what we call dul 10. So that subatomic particle has similar like proton, neutron, electron. So we have 8 to 13 different subatomic particles in the Abhidharma. Then when we look at these particles, they always changing, impermanent, and they have groups. Then we have this higher Abhidharma, what we call the Mahayana Abhidharma. And in the Mahayana Abhidharma, when we look at that particle in the end, cannot find. So shunyata, emptiness. And now scientists saying very similar thing. First they found atom, then they discovered maybe 60, 70 years before they discovered the subatomic particles. And then they look at in the end the particle and energy like space-time's form. It's kind of like not really particle, it's like become field. And then when they look at the more, nowadays they cannot find also. Zero, what they call. And then I have a lot of friends and they said, then who am I? I'm nothing like that and don't like sometimes. Fear comes. But in Buddhism, what do we call? That is shunyata. We talk about this in Abhidharma also. We have the Abhidharma Kosha and the Mahayana Abhidharma. In the Mahayana special is shunyata. The shunyata is not nothing. Because of that shunyata, emptiness, what we call emptiness. Emptiness is equal to fullness. Because of that emptiness, everything is possible. The possibility comes with emptiness. Yet, all the possibilities are not real. It's empty, like dream chawal dal. You can see, dream chawal dal, you can eat, you can smell, everything yet not exist, but can appear, right? So that's the meaning of the matter. Then the mind. So mind has 4 aspects. One is emotional mind, the feeling. Second is a conceptual mind, cognitive mind. Third is what we call volition, which is imprint. So one volition is the motivation, the cause. Causal volition meaning motivation. Without volition, we cannot come here. Without volition, we cannot watch this broadcast. Without volition, you cannot move. So the motivation is volition. And through that motivation, then that's imprint, subconscious level. That's also volition. Then number 4 is consciousness. So 6 consciousness normally we describe, but in the Mahayana Abhidharma we describe 8 consciousness, like eye consciousness, perceiving shape and color, so on, ear, nose, tongue, body. Then number 6 is the monkey mind. Blah, 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 yada, yada, talking, Number 7 is sense of me. Me. Number 8, what we call alaya, which is the imprint. All the imprint and what we call karma. Karma is imprint. So imprint stays in the alaya, and alaya is subconscious. So all this topic is what we call Abhidharma. To see, explore the mind and matter. Then to bring these knowledge into your personal transformation, we meditate on that. So all this process, like to learn this knowledge, then bring into the experience, transform your clashes and suffering. So that's the meditation. And number 3, apply in everyday life. So application. So this is the meaning of the Abhidharma.
And with something like monkey mind, which you mentioned, right, where it's so easy to be distracted.
Yes.
Like, I'm not fully aware or here with you because my mind is all over the place. I have this to do, I have that to do. How is it in that moment of absolute distraction or chaos that's there, that you can quickly just bring yourself to center and calm? Is there a way that people can do it in an easy step that doesn't seem like, say you don't have the chance to meditate over something at that point? What can one do to control the monkey mind and bring it back?
Need to feel the body.
Okay.
Just feel the body. Now when we sit on this chair, there's a gravity that we feel in the body, the weight.
Yeah.
And might be temperature also, warm and cold. And then there's sensation sometimes in the stomach. It doesn't matter, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral, any sensation. So feel the body, relax the muscle, and be here now. So the moment we feel the body, special gravity, then what we call the prana go down, the energy go down. Then mind, speedy mind, little bit become more relaxed. And if you can, like before the meeting or something, do the deep breathing, maybe 10 times. Breathe from the nose. And feel the sensation in the body, special gravity, relax muscles. That also really helps.
So, in this section, what we can talk about, or rather do, is if I give you a particular scenario, right, that people can have in their life actually, and you can give the meditation technique or some practice that people can do to curb this problem. So, for example, a lot of people go through anxiety. Now, anxiety can be I have an exam, or it can be I have a job interview, or a big project at work, or I messed something up, or anxiety can manifest in many different forms. So, in that moment, what is a meditation practice that one can do when they're feeling very anxious?
Yeah. So normally we talk about 3 steps. First 3 steps. The first step is when we feel the anxiety, we need to change our focus.
Okay.
Because normally when we experience anxiety, then our mind involved with the anxiety, and then we exaggerate. So what we call like a panic of panic.
Correct.
Fear of anxiety, or aversion, or you really like something, kind of like creating the imagination, fantasy feeling, and craving for that, and get rid of anxiety or problem or situation, whatever you feel is obstacle. So these 2 things, what we call aversion and craving, is like when you drive a car, we have accelerator and a brake, right? And because of these 2 things, anxiety can survive. It's like without accelerator and a brake, cannot drive a car. We need to free these 2 things first. So how to free? First step is simple meditation, maybe sound meditation. You can have your own music. Maybe at the beginning, more music with more without voices, maybe nature sound, maybe waterfall, could be bird, could be just small. India, we have a lot of traditional music. Or slowly you can listen to your own music, but you just listen, ear, mind together. Then the second stage, what we call, need to feel the body. Anxiety is the sensation normally from the stomach, then go to whole body, tight or burning or restless and unpleasant sensation. So many things that comes in the body. So the second, just feel. Maybe first, like hold the hand like this, then relax your hand. You feel relaxation. You feel the weight, gravity. Or you can hold your hand around your forehead, almost touching but not really touching. Then you can feel the warmth or energy, like tingling. Or you can rub your hand and open, so you feel the energy tingling. Feel that one. So these things are to connect with the body. Normally, when the anxiety comes, what happens? Mind and the body become separate. So mind is here and jumping between past and the future, then become restless, cannot sleep well, think so many thought, image. So the monkey mind become like crazy. The moment you feel the body, energy come down. So that also 1 month. So maybe 5 minutes per day, feel the body. The third is, now you can use panic as support for your meditation. Look at the panic directly, just like listen to sound or watching the breathing. Then eventually, the awareness is bigger than panic attacks. Not just panic. Could be depression, could be anxiety, the sadness, loneliness, anger also. Anything. They all become support for awareness in the end.
Yeah. What about anger? How do we, in the moment, center ourselves when you feel very angry?
So for the anger, the solution is the awareness. You just catch that I'm angry. You cannot really control your anger normally. If you say, oh, I will be not angry, I will go to my office with a big smile. Then maybe 10 minutes, okay. After 10 minutes later, that's the problem. Now anger comes. What we call like volcano eruption. So you cannot really fight like that way. But then what we can do, just feel, okay, I'm angry now. I'm feeling sensation, burning sensation, like hot water boiling inside. Oh, I'm angry again. Just catch that you are angry. No need to suppress, no need to control, no need to particular follow, just catching. And normally we cannot catch too long. After a few seconds later, lost. But even we can catch 1 or 2 seconds, that awareness really help us, kind of like after a certain level, we get freedom. Should I anger more or less? If we are aware of our own anger. And anger become also lucidity, like if the wood landed on the land, we cannot move, right? If we move the wood on the water, it's flexible. We can move everywhere. So anger become like that after a certain level.
Yeah. What about moments of self-doubt? When I'm not good enough, or will it happen, won't it happen, what should I do? So many different confusion-driven thoughts. So in those moments, what is the practice that one can do?
So those moments we need to learn self-compassion, self-forgiveness. So first important is we need to remember, no matter what happened, we all have this wonderful nature. So our true nature never be polluted, never affected by whatever happened. Even the worst thought and emotion. It's like the worst storm cannot change nature of sky. So we need to appreciate our fundamental quality. Then the second is, okay, whatever past is past. You cannot change. Important is future, but the future relying on now, the present. So work with the present. Transform the present. Whatever past is gone, let it go. And also, everybody make mistake. The Buddha said, if someone says that nobody make mistake, that's the biggest liar. Everybody makes mistake, but from mistake we can learn. We can grow from problems, mistakes. So in the Tibet, what we call no mistake, no success. Repeating same mistake, no success.
Correct.
So actually, okay to have mistake, but we can learn from there, grow from there.
We're down to the last question. This has been amazing. As a closure, what is the one thing that people can imbibe to bring out the Buddha in them today?
I think if we bring all this teaching into one thing, is appreciation. So gratitude, appreciation. that we all have this wonderful quality within us, normally we are not recognized. And how to recognize that? Begin with appreciation. Maybe write 3 things. Or appreciate with the meditation about your life, your quality, people around you. So through the appreciation, we will discover awareness, love and compassion, wisdom. And also, we feel more happy, joyful. There's a contentment. So dukkha is never satisfied. The appreciation and the rejoice will help this deeper level of contentment and satisfaction.
Thank you so much. This has been so lovely. And we hope to have you back on the show. And we hope we added value to your time and to your life. And I know that this is going to help so many people who are watching. So thank you so much for doing this with us.
Thank you very much. And I'm very happy with all the wonderful questions. And these are really related with the normal life. So
thank you.
Thank you and welcome. Yes.
We hope this episode added value to your lives. Join the Realign movement. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And we'll see you in the next one.